Hello and welcome to the video version of my journal. I'm Stephanie Rivers. Come on in, kings and queens, and welcome to the conversation. You're watching my video version of my journal. I'm Stephanie Rivers, and I'm actually coming to you today from Savannah, Georgia. Beautiful weather out. Hopefully, wherever you are experiencing the same thing. Come on in. We'll give people a few minutes. I am tricasting on my primary three platforms are YouTube and Facebook Live and LinkedIn. I've also added Twitter to the broadcast, and I have reached a new subscriber level. For some of you, it's like nothing, but I have finally reached 100 subscribers. So thank you to all my subscribers out there who see the value in my commentary and have push that subscribe button. So if you are new to the conversation, we want to welcome you. And if you are returning, we want to welcome you back. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that when I post new videos, you will be the first to know. So I've also added some background music. I'm going to take that down because when I come to you, it's always something that I think you can take from it and that you can share with others. And you can also comment now, you can comment later. I do get your notifications that you have responded or have commented on my videos, and I try to get back to you because it is interactive, and I'm just not here just to hear myself talk or see myself, but I honestly want you to gain some knowledge and understanding from this. So again, thank you to my starter subscribers and my new subscribers, and thank you for sharing and liking these videos. Today, I want to talk to you about something that a lot of us probably have not thought about, but I want to start with this. A lot of us have played the game. If you were an animal, what animal would you be? I know you've heard of that game. And so, what I find this very interesting that most people, when you ask them what animal would you be if you were an animal, they often come up with the animal that they feel like they most are akin to. As most people say, I'm either a lion or I'm a lioness because I'm fearless and I'm a hunter. A lot of people say things like, you know what, I think I'd be a giraffe because I have a long neck and I'm tall and I'm graceful. Some people, they claim to be a fox because they're cunning, or they have a lot of business savvy, they're an entrepreneur. Some people say I would be a cheetah or a jaguar because I'm fast and nobody can catch me. And so here's what I find interesting about that is that a lot of these animals that people claim that they are like, that they have the characteristics of, if they didn't tell you that, you would never know because they don't present themselves in that way on an everyday basis. If they didn't tell you, I would be a lion because I'm fearless and I'm a hunter, you would never know that just by looking at them and how they walk and how they present themselves, because they don't walk like they're in control or that they're in charge. They don't act like a fox. They don't do business cunning and making deals and negotiating. You would never know that they even have a business, let alone how they do business. And so that's why I find it very interesting how people see themselves versus what they actually do, because the real test of a person is how they act and what they say when they don't know anyone's looking. And so they claim these characteristics of being a lion and a cheetah and a fox and a beautiful giraffe. But again, they told you that, you would never know that. In my opinion, and I'm going to explain this after I say it. In my opinion, most people um, present themselves like horses. And let me explain that. So most of us have seen a horse race. You've either seen the Preakness. I used to live in Baltimore. I know that's a big thing there. You might have seen the Kentucky Derby, Churchill Downs. You might have seen the Belmont Stakes out of Elmhurst in New York. So you know that looking at those horse races, that horses are very fast. They're one of the fastest animals on earth. That's why a lot of people race them. That's why you might know that horses are very fast. And if you've seen a horse in a movie or any type of drama talking about horses, you know that horses are strong. They're very strong. They can pull a lot of weight. They can hold a lot of people at one time. If you have seen a movie, you know horses are strong and they can pull a lot of weight. And if you've even ridden a horse, maybe on vacation, or maybe you might have a horse ranch or something, you know, horses can be stubborn. Have you ever ridden a horse and you try to get it to go one way and they know that you don't know what you're doing and they just totally ignore your direction, and then they just do what they want to do? Horses can be stubborn. Horses are fast. Horses are strong. Horses have an independent mind. So that's why I think, here's why I think people present themselves like horses. In those horse races, even though they're very fast, they can be strong and they have an independent mind. Have you ever noticed that in the horse race, there's a little person on the backs of the horse, controlling the horse, telling the horse what to do? So no matter how strong that horse is, no matter how fast that horse is, no matter how independent that horse is, there's a little person, most of the time a little white man, riding the back of the horse, pulling the strings of the horse, the bridle. And the horse has blinders on. The horse can't even look to the right or left without the little white man on the horse's back telling the horse what to do. That's why I think most people present themselves as horses, because as strong as they are, as fast as they are, as independent thinking as a horse can be, the horse allows somebody who's as little as a jockey sitting on there, controlling their movements, telling them what to do and where to go and how to do it. That, my friends, is why I think people present themselves as a horse. So the next time somebody asks you, if you were an animal, what kind of animal would you be? Hopefully you can't say a horse. Hopefully after seeing this video, you can honestly say another animal that is strong and fast and is independent. But see, in life and in business, some people act just like horses in a race. They act as if they have no choice but to follow certain rules. But if you think outside of those rules, then you might find yourself getting better results than what you thought you could get. If you take off those blinders and if you stop allowing people to control your every move, then you might realize that you have value beyond what somebody else is telling you you have value, and that you can be successful in business beyond what people are telling you that you can be successful in business. So people who have started business in the United States, because I'm an entrepreneur and I've experienced this, and let me know if you've experienced this. People who have started a business, especially in the United States, you might have realized that there are so many challenges. And if it was easy, of course, everybody would be doing it. So, of course, there are going to be some challenges. Um, but some of those challenges include, well, I was just doing some research and they're saying that, basically the lack of proper management and the lack of sufficient operating funds keeps businesses from succeeding. But here's the thing, if you look beyond that, there's always this certification that you got to get. There's always a certain license that you have to have. And then there's the recurring fees. And then there's this, that, and the third. And there's this hoop to jump through. And they want you to be in business for this amount of time before you can do this, that, especially if you try to get into government contracting or anything, basically. There's always some other certification that you have to get, especially in the United States, to succeed. But recently, a business associate of mine, his name is Matthew Boykin, he said that when he started his business in New Jersey, he saw the same challenges, always some other hurdle for you to go through. And so when he felt the same way, he decided that he was going to try to do it a different way. So, doing business in the United States, he had the same results as many people. But when he went to another country, when he started his business in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, he realized that all business didn't have to end up like what they tell you in the United States. That doing business, in fact, I did an interview with Matthew, and I'm going to show you that interview, but I just wanted to talk with you a little bit first, because a lot of us feel like we have to do things a certain way. We have to follow a certain program. But here's the thing, if that program is not working for you, if you realize that you're doing the same thing but not getting any results, then it might be time for you to go to somewhere else that is less restricted. It might be time for you to seek out other opportunities in another country. That's your legal right to do that. And so when I started my business, I started a drone company. I'm a certified drone operator. It's called Remote Pilot. Um, and my goal is to and was to get government contracts. And so when I went online to see the best way to do that, of course, I met and having regulations. There's nothing wrong with regulating things, but at some point you have to ask yourself, and you have to realize, is this just the way? Is the process, getting the certifications, getting the licenses, paying the fees, getting the recurrent certification, are all these things just designed to keep you in the pursuit of business while only certain people are going to succeed? And if so, why put yourself through that when you can look over there across the water and see that people are going into business and being successful and not having to go through the same issues? And so that is when I decided to go to Dubai on a business mission to meet business owners who are having success in Dubai. And so last week I showed you, I talked with you a little bit about my experience while I was there. It was a business trip, but of course, since I'm over there, I might as well go scuba diving, So that is how you do business. It was initially, essentially, I went over there to meet with Mr. Boykin and to learn how to do business with his contacts in Dubai. And I want to share that information with you. And so if you haven't already, be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that when I post new videos, you'll be the first to know. So when I went to meet face to face with Matthew. And as a matter of fact, I hired him as a consultant to help me with my business. And so I decided to interview him to find out what made him actually make the move from the United States to Dubai. Because a lot of us, we're willing to travel, we're willing to go out of the country to go on vacation. We'll do that. But when it comes to actually looking at business opportunities or looking at another country as a viable option for starting a business and having a successful business, most of us stop we're not out of the box thinkers that far out of the box. We'll go over there and sip on some margaritas and stuff and eat the latest cuisine and stuff. But when it comes to actually creating streams of income from across the water, a lot of us have never considered that. And I think that it is time for us to consider that. So I want to share with you, it's a 15-minute interview that I did with Matthew Boykin when I was in Dubai, and a few weeks ago, not even maybe 10 days ago, not even. So just wanted to share that with you. And here it is. Well, today we have a guest. His name is Mr. Matthew Boykin, and he is the principal of Aerial Optic LLC in Dubai. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So I thought it would be great for us to talk with Matthew because Mr. Boykin has started his company, and you're based in Dubai. And a lot of people, Matthew, are, they are wanting to do business. They're wanting to see something different than what America has to offer them. And so you have taken the opportunity to move out of the country or start a business out of the country. And I just wanted to talk to you about that because your story is so engaging and it's inspirational to me, and I'm sure it will be to others. So thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
So now, before we get started, tell us a little bit about where you're from. You grew up in the United States. Where?
Yeah, so I was born in Brooklyn, New York, at SUNY Downstate Hospital, right? I was born in New York City, and then my lovely grandmother raised me literally from birth. So I was born in New York, grew up in New York for a few years, but mostly in New Jersey. So in high school in New Jersey, and so I grew up.
So at what point did you say to yourself, you know what I'm seeing in America is limiting my vision for myself and your business, and you decided to look other places to do that? Everybody here wants to start a business. Everybody hears a story about tax deductions, and I mean, if that's all you're going to do is, go do stuff to get a tax deduction, that's kind of limiting your horizon on what a business can do. So what made you take the step to seek outside of America?
It's a great question. And welcome to Dubai. Absolutely. Yes, man. I think, that's such a thought-provoking question because I don't think Matthew chose business. I think business, I know rather, business chose Matthew. For example, growing up in America, as a black man, right? I'm an athlete. I'm an athlete at heart, and that's the road I took. Pursue athletics. I went to college simply because of athletics. I didn't go to college. Of course, I learned a lot in higher academia, but I went to higher academia specifically for athletics. And once I realized, okay, that's not Matthew's reality, I had to figure out what made sense next. So I was fortunate to be groomed by veterans. Right. I worked for a few different government agencies, right, to include the VA. And again, I was fortunate to be hand selected and groomed by those men, who are much greater than I, those combat vets. And I think, well, I know rather, that learning from them opened my eyes to business opportunities. And then once I had a foundation of that, since I had the mindset for football, like for football, for example, or basketball, it's like you want to win a championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, okay, where can I win a business championship? And I said, okay, Dubai. So that's how it happened.
That's interesting. I was just asking someone, I did an interview with someone the other day, and I asked him this, so I'm going to ask you. Sometimes it seems like with most men, especially Black men, we are the community doesn't push you into doing business and scholastic achievement. They push you into sports and athletics. At what point did you say, I have more to offer the world and I want to do more than just, run touchdowns and score, which, if you make millions of dollars or whatever, ain't nothing wrong with that. You get your money how you get your money. But I just feel like in our community, that's all we are expected to do is score for the team, make money for a white owner, make money for other people and not for ourselves. How did you get away from that scenario for yourself?
Great question. I think for me specifically is that I'm an independent thinker, right? Like Matthew completely thinks on his own. I don't think amongst a community of men my own age, right? If I do want to seek counsel, it's men that are older than me. But I'm completely okay with not following the crowd, right? So everything I've done, I've literally trailblazed myself, and it's not because it's something that I wanted to do alone. It's simply because everyone whom I'm around, especially amongst my peers, they don't have the same mind I do as it pertains to global thinking. It's hard to think global if you're still trying to pay your cell phone bill. It's hard to think global if you're trying to pay rent. It's hard to think global if you have, X amount of children and you're on child support, right? It's like, okay, global is an idea, but it's not a reality, right? So, I was fortunate and lucky enough that I didn't have any undue influences that kind of pivoted my life to limited opportunities, right? So, that's nothing but, blessing from God himself.
Amen. The grace of God. So you, it's a mindset basically that people just have to push themselves to be a free thinker at some point in their lives.
Absolutely.
And so you decided I'm going to go into business, and you had mentors. You mentioned looking to other older, more experienced people, and not necessarily your peers, hanging out. And that's not to say some young people are not don't have good advice, but going to someone who is more experienced is a good thing. Having a mentor, so that's important in developing the right frame of mind to start a business and to look abroad, is having mentors.
Absolutely. I think not only having mentors, but just having a vision for what you want for yourself specifically. What do you want? Where do you want to grow? How do you want to go? What do you envision? Right. So I think that's very, very important.
So we met because of business, and
Yes.
And so tell me a little bit about your company. And because I started a business, I consider myself to be a free thinker as well. I certainly love to travel, not afraid to travel for business and seek ventures outside of the United States. That's legal and it's okay, and people do it all the time. And so we're not telling you to do anything that's against the law. It's your right to seek business, an opportunity outside of the United States. And so what made you tell us what types of business partners are you looking for that are based in the United States, in case someone wants to reach out or they're seriously saying to themselves, Okay, I'm open to that, but what can I do?
I would say any company, whether it be a veteran-owned company, well, especially a veteran-owned company, right? A women-owned company, a minority-owned company, any company that just wants to grow to a new level, right? I mean, what you can do one day in Dubai, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, is hard to do 100 lifetimes in America because the American system is not designed for your business to scale within 1 year or less. In America, let's say for the typical athlete, an athlete can go from broke to having resources, right? An entertainer can go from broke to having resources, right? But over here, a business can go from broke to having excellent resources because it's all about resource partners, right? The American system is not designed, like, for example, I'll take a step back. Think about all of the American certification processes, the women owned, the hub zone, the 8A, the veteran owned. All those processes, they're great processes, but it's designed for the U.S. government to police your monies. They know who paid you, they know when they paid you, they know how much they paid, and they know who your employees are. No kidding. So again, so not saying it's not beneficial, it's great, but it's a systematic process that the government put in place for you. No kidding. So when you go the global B2B route, you create your own system. What we have done, we've created our own system. We've proactively reached out to our own potential clients, right? And we're helping clients our method, our way. So of course, for someone who likes to follow traditional government structure, they'll say, I don't get it. Or they'll say, I don't want any part of it. But they have no idea what they may be missing out on.
Absolutely. Definitely. So they have to be willing to listen to someone who knows and who has done it, and be willing to take the steps to make it happen.
Absolutely.
And what I would suggest is, because you can, I think so many people, the term is stepping over pennies to get to dollars. Is that what it is? Is that the term I'm trying to say? I'm trying to say we're too busy watching pennies that we miss out on the dollars.
Understood.
And so, because we're in a stingy mindset, we don't want to let $500 go because, well, what if this is not? What if it doesn't work?
Yeah.
But you missed out on $5 million.
You know what I'll say? According to Matthew, business is just like relationships, right? Let's say you have a woman who is in an abusive relationship, right? And she may think that all men are bad. Are all men bad? No, he was bad, right? So just like in business, just because someone may have treated someone wrong or treated you wrong in business, does not mean everyone will, right? It's just a matter of being able to discern, being able to listen, and that potential client, right, meeting you where you are. So again, if that man meets that woman who he loves, and let's say she was in an abusive relationship, he must be patient with her, period, or it's not going to work.
Because there's a process to everything.
Exactly.
So be patient with the process. Good lesson. I want to know, what if anyone wants to contact you? What are ways that they can contact you if they want to know more about your company? Because we want to do our research first before we start reaching out.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would say visit our website. Our website is www.aerialoptic.com. That's aerialoptic.com. You will see there's a contact form on there, right? Mm-hmm. They can fill out the contact form. They can send an email to info@aerialoptic.com. I think the best thing to do would probably be to call, right? If they call, our U.S. number is +1 United States, of course, and then 202-516-6037. And I just call that number, ask to speak to a representative or leave a message. Someone will definitely get back to them. I think that with the email mail, we receive so many emails. Some are spam. Unless the email is clear, concise, and makes sense, it has to make sense, right? It has to be filled out correctly. Then we'll definitely respond. But nowadays, I mean, emails are just flooded with garbage sometimes, and you have to just filter out what makes sense and what doesn't. So yeah.
So you've been able to start to come to another country, start a thriving business. You've got offices in different parts of the world, um, team members all over the world. Um, did you ever envision that you would be where you are now?
No, no. I didn't. I'm a process man. I love process, so I don't really. It's kind of like I'm the type of athlete that just works out. I don't look in the mirror. When I get a haircut, I don't look in the mirror. I just say thank you. The reason why I say thank you is because I acknowledge I can't do what he does, so I just say I'll just take it, right? So with respect to business, I think that I just keep going. I don't look back. I don't really assess as to what we may have accomplished. I just say, you know what, it's not good enough. Keep moving. But one thing I will say is that what I'd say 90% of our employees, they're all women. I'm going to say it again. 90% of our employees, they're all women. It's because I, Matthew, acknowledge, what one woman can do, it may take 3 men. And I don't mean lifting weights. I just mean the business savviness once they understand the mission, right? So simply on my side, I just simply delegate authority to them because they're the real superstars. Absolutely.
That's awesome. And being able to work with different people and different nationalities in a diverse world, and building your workplace like that, it only makes you better and the company better and more attractive to people. And I think that's one of the things that people are having, might have had issues with in their chosen career, or they're trying to get business started, is just not seeing themselves appreciated or given an opportunity to do certain things. You can work in our company, but only in this position. And so, that is disheartening for a lot of people, and they can't see themselves beyond that. So I again commend you for your success.
Well, thank you.
And so, if you haven't already, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. So when I post new videos, you'll be the first to know. And again, I will send out. I'm going to do a written version. I always do. This is a video version. I do a written version. So I'll put your contact information in the written version, and then we can go from there. And if you have any questions that you want to ask me about business and what I'm doing. Essentially, I'll just tell you I started a drone company, and I did that because I think drone technology is a future technology. It's right here now, but the possibilities of where it's going is massive. And so I want to be on that wave of where it's going. And so that's why I'm here in Dubai. It's a business trip. All righty. That was my interview with Matthew Boykin on my recent business trip to Dubai. And I just wanted to share that with you. In the United States, it seems that the way most people pursue creating wealth, generational wealth, or end up building generational wealth is if you're in the entertainment industry, or if you are in the professional sports arena, then it's easier to create that wealth, that in those high streams of income that you're looking for. But if you are not in the entertainment industry, whether that's music and movies or some type of thing, because people like to be entertained. They will pay big money to be entertained. I just recently did one of my columns was about how this ICU nurse had started a fans only page, and she went from making maybe $100,000 a year to making $200,000 a month because people will pay to see body parts. And They pay to be entertained. So if you are not in the entertainment industry and if you're not a pro athlete, it's hard for you to create those high levels of income that can help you to create generational wealth. And that's why a lot of people make their business the business of entertainment or the business of pro sports. But if you're not in those arenas and you find yourself trying to start a mainstream traditional business, then it's hard for you, especially with all the hoops you have to jump through, with all the certifications and the recertifications and the licenses and all these things you find yourself having to do. And then you realize, wait a minute, I've been trying to get this thing. I'm breaking even. I might as well. And some people do end up going back to the job, the just over broke, the job that they don't like, the one where they get paid just enough to keep them from quitting, and the employer pays just enough, and so they don't get fired and they don't quit. And so it's like, is this my life? When if you would just, as Matthew said, get out of the box, get you some mentors, team up with some people who are getting it done, and you can increase your chances of having a lucrative, successful business and helping other people to be successful and building a team that can help you. Then you might see some different results. So hopefully this has helped you to realize that there are other opportunities out there, and whatever you are experiencing right now, if you don't like it, that doesn't have to be what you take. Quit treating yourself like you're a horse being ridden and controlled and only allowed to do certain things, and at the achievement or at someone else's success. They are, you do the work, you the workhorse, and they are the success. Quit letting that happen to you. The next time somebody asks you, if you were an animal, what animal would you be? Think about this and honestly ask yourself that before anybody asks you that. And the next time they ask you, don't let it be a horse with a jockey on his back. And that's it. To find out more about the things that I care about, you can go to the written version of my journal. It's at eurweb.com. Thank you so much and have a super day.